you're a public nuisance, right? Remember why you're here.
Unity.
Is that cool? Woo. So, Governor Hickenlooper a couple of days ago, maybe 2 days ago, was quoted on KOA radio, right? I'd love to invite somebody who heard that conversation, who is part of the PR committee, who can talk about what he said and then what Occupy Denver's response to that was. Can I get somebody to step up? Hey, take you.
Got one. Hi everybody, my name is Brett. And I'm on the PR media committee with a few other people. And we got word of a press conference that occurred at about 1 o'clock this afternoon that the Westward reported on, in which the governor and the mayor together both told the press openly that Occupy Denver will be evicted. And that he's made it clear in the press conference, he said that previously he's made it clear that the park is to be closed from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. And pretty much effective immediately that will be enforced.
Point of order.
The question was...
Mic check, mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
The question was... What did Hickenlooper say at the press conference a couple of days ago?
What did Hickenlooper say at the press conference a couple of days ago?
Actually, it was on KOA.
Actually, it was on KOA.
The statements that Governor Hickenlooper made on KOA the other morning explained a little bit similar to what I just said, but he also made a statement that the state of Colorado is in consideration of our First Amendment rights as well. So he said both things at the same time.
How did Occupy
That
Denver
double talk or
respond?
not?
All right, so in response, Occupy Denver has made a press release. Well, firstly, we delivered a letter yesterday to the governor asking him to let us stay.
I have that letter if you need it.
And that letter is available, I think here's printed out, it's been circulating around online. It's on the .org, you can see the letter. We asked him to stay. His response, I believe, to that was the press conference today, which said, the answer is no. That should be alarming.
Isn't that a quickie, dude?
It's like breakfast.
Now, we've made one more response in regards to the press conference from today that announced that that we would be evicted. And I'm not quite as clear on what that response is. It's in my phone right now. I could probably dig it up, but we have made a response to the eviction that we're expecting.
We got a number 2 right in front of you, Joey.
Yo, who's number 2? Mic check.
Mic check.
We do have something going around.
Voice support for the Occupy Denver movement.
Voice of Occupy Denver movement.
Call the governor office and say
Call the governor office and say
he must call off the removal of the Occupy Denver encampment.
He
must call off the removal of the Occupy Denver encampment.
And we have a phone number and email address for that.
Call it an assembly. Don't call it an encampment. Call it an assembly.
It's an assembly. It's a peaceful gathering, a peaceful assembly of people.
3. Who's 3?
Okay, a quick direct response to that. I personally tried to call the governor's office, and the phone number doesn't go to a machine or anything. So for overnight, the only way to contact the governor or any state official would be through email, to the best of my knowledge. That's all I had to say on that.
Not that they would respond.
Government only is open till 5.
Oh yeah,
See after 5.
we know. That's what the problem is in our government.
Free speech isn't allowed after 11.
Alright, is everybody okay with we've been talking a lot about, we've been talking a lot about what's been going on the last few days. Are you guys okay with talking about options on what we're gonna do tonight now? Is that cool with everybody? Alright, basically I think we've come to the consensus that there's about 3 main ideas on what we are gonna do. There's either,
Chris, you gotta hold it.
we can either stay here tonight and see what happens with the police. We can either move to the sidewalk and try to follow the, apparently it seems that that's okay if we're on the sidewalk, but we don't know for sure if they're gonna tolerate that or not. So we can either do that, we can stay, or we can move the, we can basically move for the night. And
Across the street.
what we've been discussing is this: is that if we march, the park here is open from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. If we march from here to a different place to camp and then march back in the morning every day, I think it's going to generate a lot more awareness for what we're doing, and we're going to be following within the law. The third option is the one that I'm proposing. The other 2 options were brought up by other people. I'm just giving you all 3 options out there right now. If you guys want to discuss this, I think this is the thing. I think this is what we should be discussing right now.
Right.
There is actually a 4th option, and that 4th option is that we could all just pack up and go home. Just checking.
What about Confluence Park?
All right, so we presented 3 options on the table.
What's the nearest park that we should park in?
Option number 1, can you restate it?
Option number 1 is stay and see what happens with the police.
Option 2.
Move to the sidewalk. And march. Option number 3 is make a camp elsewhere for the night, but basically occupying 2 places. We'll be camping one place. I'm not going to go into where we've been discussing because there's a lot of watchful eyes right now.
Correct, thank you.
But I'm saying that we will move as a unit to one place, but then also with that, I think there's the option. Okay, also with that, I think there's the option of some people that are able to stay here and see what happens with the police. And there's some people that aren't necessarily in a position to do that because of whatever's going on in their lives. So maybe we can occupy both places at once, have those that aren't able to stay go and make camp somewhere else for the night, and then march back on the daily, and those that are able to stay. So there, that's the other option.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to begin discussion. We have 1 direct response, and then we have a stat.
Direct response, number 1. You're number 2. How about direct response?
I was here at the 3 o'clock General Assembly.
General Assembly.
And it was debated pretty intensively then.
Pretty intensely then.